Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, the channel where we look at YouTubers and others to see if they demonstrate any traits that fall within the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. These videos are for fun and entertainment purposes only, strictly my opinion, and remember, please don't send any snark to our possible narcs. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. Hello my lovely alerts and welcome back to the Narc Alert. So in this video, we're going to go really far off the rails and we're going to look at some of Amberlynn's most famous poetry. Some of you may have heard me talk in the past about my love of the beat poets. I've seen William S. Burroughs, I've seen Jim Carroll, I've seen Hunter S. Thompson, and many others. So when I realized that Amber shared my love of the beats, I thought it might be fun to do a reading of one of her most famous works, and we can critique it together. So pour yourself a cup of coffee and maybe get some wacky tobacco, and let's go to the Beatnik Coffee House. Speaking up. Let's see. Who does everyone believe? Let's start gambling our life, rolling dice like knives on a platter. Who will survive? Will it be the false nightmare you spit, or the reality that I have tied to a place of sadness, but now revealed, and it all turned to madness? In the author's opening stanzas, she starts with a question: who does everyone believe? Clearly, there's some kind of tension or fighting with a significant other or some kind of relationship in her life that she's battling with. But, you know, she paints a portrait with words. You can literally hear the knives on the platter. But she's also questioning who is going to win this battle. Will it be all the lies that are being told about her? Or will it be her reality, which is at the same time sad and mad? Why are you going to break the tide and just leave it there? Why break the ice and throw the stone and never think twice? Why are you going to play your sins and call me twice? Twice the lies, twice the price, twice the vulgar manipulated web, spider to friend, friend to spider, enemy grudge, and love lost. In the second stanza, we see a focus on water. Clearly, this author has a deep connection to water. We can see it in her words of breaking the tide and breaking the ice. She also heavily evokes the concept of twice, thinking twice, calling twice, lying, twice the price, twice a web, indicating that things are twice as hard for her as for the rest of us. She's also indicating that she was once friends with somebody who is no more than a spider, and she now holds a warlike grudge against them, and there's no love lost. Using my name to put yours in lights. What happened to all the fights? All the times they turned into goodbyes? No, I am not perfect in any way. No inside the lines, no glitter. Outside, no gracefully worded rhymes, no playing perfect like you've begun a show that keeps haunting me. Escape the pain and outwardly insane, escape the thoughts and the online taunts. Just admit you were wrong and play a different song. Admit the guilt you've sown like a misguided basket. We are actually very lucky enough to understand some of the history and the background of this piece. The author's speaking about a former partner who she had made an accusation against. The author is, almost to put it in perspective, she's a famous professional YouTuber. So there's an implication here in using her name as like riding her coattails. She's also admitting to many of the fights and how she's not perfect. And here we can see a reference. The author has a deep passion for coloring and coloring books. And we can see this reflected in the line, she's not perfect outside the lines, as if, she does color outside the lines on occasion. She's not perfect. She is also telling us that her partner is publicly personifying perfection. It's following her, it's haunting her, it's a demon that she's trying to battle against. All she's trying to do is leave the pain of a former relationship, and she wants her significant other to admit that they were wrong. They had sown guilt, much in the same fashion as a misguided basket, so to speak. My life is my story, and yet you've written a chapter. The chapter has torn pages and scribbled words. Words of false advertisement. I am my own narrator, and yet you stole the pen. To lie, to pry into a life that was fine. Here are the facts. You lied about your name right off the bat, and yet you call me insane? You put a ring on my finger and promised me forever, and yet you kissed her. You kicked and screamed until it was making hate, never mind making love when the love was gone. This verse is clearly illustrating the author's former partner has lied and made up so many stories about the author's life. And to further illustrate, this person not only lies about the author's life, but even lied about her own name and promises of forever that were broken. The fighting was so intense, it wasn't making love anymore. It was like making hate. R-A-P-E. Rain and petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word. Rain and petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word. Rain and petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word. My mental hygiene has been rotten and stirred. Now this is truly the pivotal stanza of the piece. The author has made an accusation of her former partner in error, and she's now just trying to clarify her words. And it was truly out of her control, as she does have some mental issues that she battles. Abuse in the picture frame. Put on a smile, but I see behind the fake glass reflecting. Noise destroying. Shimmer clatter. Frame breaks. I don't understand your left hand. Connected to your heart, but it's so cold. Cold enough to ruin me. Listen, my heart doesn't beat for you. I don't bleed for you. I don't need you. Here she feels as if her life has been a lie and she's been faking it for everybody to see her smile. But she understands that behind the smile and the frame, it's nothing more but cold lies. And she compares the breaking of her relationship to the breaking of the frame in which the picture is sitting. She has been left so cold by her former partner that she feels nothing at this point. Social media needs this. Something to decipher, something to dissect, to entertain, to absorb, to twist, to melt over. It's not fair for strangers to pick a side. A side to bash, and a side to hate, a side to love, and a side to hash. Hash out propaganda. I'm not on this ride for beliefs. No bashing, no lashing, no tasteless hashing. All our brave poetess wants is to be understood. And in this stanza, she's trying to clarify all that she's dealt with in the past 7 years and admitting to making some bad choices, but acknowledging that that does not make her a bad person. She has experienced a range of human emotions, such as crying, laughing, loving. She's also grown and learned. Now, this is truly one of my favorite phrases in the entire piece. The words are so colorful. They really touch my soul when she says, "The moon moved from the sun, and roses blossomed in my favorite weed. You can almost smell the flowers. I want to be understood, To cowardly clarify, I'm going to say bad choices don't make you a bad person. Almost 7 years I have glided. 2,555 days. 61,320 hours. I've cried, I've laughed, I've loved, I've lost. I've tackled, exposed, won, succeeded, failed. I've grown. I've learned. And I've moved on healing along the way. The moon moved from the sun and roses blossomed on my favorite weed. I place my hand on my blood-red heart, hoping one day it will all disappear. Everything written with unhealthy circumstances, all the tears that stained my pillow. The cruel, hateful comments I've received in anger. The wrong assumptions everyone made. The thought of wishing myself off this jaded earth. And the lies you've placed in my reality. Specked and spiked and broken down. Still standing through all of the sound, tearing apart at the seams. I covered all of the screams. Screams so silent, and yet so loud. Profound. Profoundly intense, ending this final dance. Knowing what you did, and saying you didn't. Such a lovely story. This woman has dealt with a lot, and all she truly wants is for it to all go away. She has cried so many tears. She's received so many hateful comments. Everybody misinterprets what she says. Her partner has lied about her and broken her spirit, and yet the resounding message through the entire piece, and one that she illustrates at the end very strongly, is her strength. She's covered the screams. They were both silent and loud, which made them profound. And she seems to be very happy to be ending this painful chapter in her life. All in all, it's a very moving, very raw piece. And I think many of us can relate with this sort of thing. Thank you very much for watching Poetry with Merc. Until next time, be kind and hasta luego.